Hi, this video is video number 3 and we're talking about positive and negative numbers. There's a few interesting ones that I want to remind you about. Let's have a look at a regular basic sum. 10 minus 7 equals 3. And I want you to remember that minusing a number is the same as, let me get a better pen, a bit darker, is the same as changing it to a plus negative. If you don't believe me, you can get your calculator. 10 minus 7 equals 3 and 10 plus negative 7 equals 3. In other words, a minus is the same as adding a negative number. So anytime in algebra where you see a minus sign, you can use this trick to change it to a plus negative number, and that might help you, and you'll see further down the track why this is beneficial. The other one that causes students a lot of problems is this sort of double negative situation. So let's have a look at this one. 6 minus negative 4 equals 10. Do you see what I mean about having a double negative? 6 minus a negative number causes a lot of confusion. But if you just know and remember that a double negative in the middle of this kind of equation is actually just the same as adding 6 plus 4 equals 10, okay? They are the same. So 6 plus 4 equals 10, and that should say 6 minus negative 4 equals 10. In other words, minusing a negative number is the same as addition. Now, you pretty much just have to memorize these things, guys. So just really take a moment to understand that any time you see this situation, you can change it to a plus, and any time you see this situation, you can change it to a plus negative. Let me do a couple of examples. So let's do 12 minus 6 equals 6. The other way to write it would be 12 plus negative 6 equals 6. And the other version, let's say it is 12 minus negative 10 equals, well, it equals the same as 12 plus 10, which equals 22. Okay, the other thing I wanted to talk to you about is when you're multiplying negative and positive numbers. There's a few rules. When you've got a positive number and you're multiplying it by a positive number, you get a positive number. And an example would be 3 times 2 equals 6. A positive number multiplied by a positive number gives you a positive answer. But what about when you've got a positive number multiplied by a negative number? It equals a negative. And an example will be 3 times negative 2 equals negative 6. And it works the same way for a negative times a positive, okay? So if it was negative 2 times 3, it would still equal negative 6. And lastly, a negative times a negative number equals a positive, believe it or not. An example would be, and you can check this in your calculator, negative 3 times negative 2 equals 6. Again, these are things you kind of have to just memorize. But if you're ever in an exam and you've forgotten, even in the middle of a very simple algebraic equation, like negative 3x times negative 2, you can pop negative 3 times negative 2 into your calculator to check that you have remembered it right, okay? Now, obviously you can't put x's in your calculator, but you can put the whole numbers in and it will still give you the sign so that you know what you're doing. So again, another short video today, but I hope that helps you understand how to deal with positive and negative numbers in algebra.